Well, Kari Lake appeared on Piers Morgan Uncensored, and holy smokes, finally, she was confronted by an individual during one of these interviews about the lack of evidence she has behind her claims that the Arizona election and every election that she, didn't have go her way, 2020 and hers, was stolen. And Piers Morgan challenged her on that. And I'm glad to see it because really she's just been doing softball interviews. Finally, she was actually challenged, which was absolutely the correct thing for him to do. Take a look at this.
There's been no independent corroboration that there was anything fraudulent about this election. In fact, it's pretty clear that you lost to Katie Hobbs, your rival, 50.3% to 49.6%. And as with Donald Trump, when I said to him, where's the hard evidence? He went down all sorts of rabbit holes, but he couldn't produce hard evidence.
There's a ton of, Piers, there's a mountain of hard evidence, and when we presented it in our trial, the other side didn't even dispute the evidence. They didn't. They had,
but not that the election result was fraudulent.
Yeah, Kari, we can't dispute evidence that isn't there.
Zero chain of custody. Yes, well, we can't continue to run elections this way, and we know that we won, and we're going to continue to fight this in a court of law. And it's really rich that you're sitting across the pond acting like you know what happened on Election Day. I did not see your smiling face. We had lots of international media here covering Election Day in Arizona. Yours is one face I didn't see, and nor did I see it.
You could have had my smiling face, Kari.
When Arizonans...
That's a fascinating thing to resort to. Well, you don't even live in the United States. Well, I do, and I looked into your claims, and they're wrong. Continuing.
I would have loved to have seen you. We had more media covering our election than I've ever seen cover any story here in Arizona. And as I said, I covered Arizona for nearly 30 years. So it's okay that you are not comfortable with me fighting this election and fighting for election integrity.
No,
it's
I don't
okay.
mind you.
I don't mind the fighting. Knowing that Piers Morgan.
Let me clarify. I don't mind your fighting spirit. I don't mind it in Donald Trump. I've known him a long time.
I have every right to fight this election.
Absolutely,
this is an election
right.
contest.
But there does come a point, both for you and
I'm doing this for the people of Arizona.
Kari, there does come a point when, for the future of democracy, you and Donald Trump have to accept at some point you lost an election. Otherwise, the entire system collapses. If your simple response to losing is always, we didn't lose, we won, then democracy dies.
Exactly right. We'll watch your response. But before we do, something we highlight so much on the show and why I circle back to this subject so often, whether it be Kari Lake or Trump's election lies or other election deniers, is because this is the most important issue, meaning the health and strength of our democracy. Because the way in a democratic society that we address all of these other issues are through our political and democratic process. So if the democratic process is broken down, we can't address all the other issues we want to address. And individuals like Kari Lake, like Donald Trump, Marjorie Greene, Lauren Boebert, Matt Gaetz, all of these individuals are actively breaking down our democratic process, because you can't have a functioning democracy when one of the sides says, yeah, we'll participate, but it was stolen if we lost. That's not how it works. You have to have buy-in from a vast majority of the people involved for it to stay healthy, vibrant, and legitimate. And so she is actively working against that, which is terrifying, and so many other people as well. Continuing.
Piers, I grew up in a family of 9. I'm the youngest. My father was a history and government teacher and a football coach. And he taught us that if we lose, and we lose fair and square, we congratulate the winner, we walk away. And that's exactly what I would do if that was a fair and square election. But I'm fighting for the people of Arizona. I go all over this country. I've been probably to 6 states since the election. In Arizona, I can't walk 10 feet without an Arizonan saying, I voted for you. Everybody I know voted for you. Our ballot was rejected on election day. Please keep fighting for us. I'm fighting for the people of Arizona. And I don't mean any offense to you, but I frankly don't give a damn what you think about it. I'm fighting
so
for the
brave.
people.
So brave, Kari Lake. That's an interesting anecdote. Everywhere I go, people left and right are saying, Kari Lake, you won and everyone I know voted for you. Yeah, because you're going to Kari Lake rallies. I'm sure everyone there thinks the election was stolen too. And all these stories she has of people not being able to vote. The one we went over that was so funny, and she was so proud to present this, was someone who went to a polling place after it had closed, after 7 p.m., and then lost their mind because they weren't allowed to vote. You got there after it was closed, obviously. And then these signature claims she's made, just not true. She wasn't providing examples of the things she was saying happened. Thousands of them, really? Show one. Didn't happen. And then the tabulator. Oh, there was this coordinated effort to make sure that Kari Lake votes weren't counted. People brought in their ballot. There was indeed issues with the tabulators. So what they did, people were able to vote, put their ballot into a secure box. Then once the tabulating machines were fixed, the votes were counted. People did not have their votes ignored. So much dishonesty there. And so built off of a foundation of lies is a movement that is threatening the essence of our democracy in a way we have not seen in the United States in a very long time. And it needs to continue to be called out because it truly is so important. And it's wild to watch people in my personal life even see Kari Lake as a hero. She is fighting for democracy. That's how people see it. And so then you say, well, you have this view, they have that view. How do you know what's true? And that's what we've lost, is the ability to understand what empirical information looks like, what data, what evidence that can be proven looks like. And so when people see some article put together by KariLakeIsTheBest.com or something they were sent on Facebook, that looks to them legitimate and they believe things. And this is why so many who follow Kari Lake, I know Kari Lake knows that she's espousing lies, but those who follow her don't. And they're buying into these lies and now are a part of an incredibly dangerous movement, thinking they're on the correct side of history, which is so sad and so dangerous. We'll continue to follow Kari Lake as she tries to attain more power, which absolutely terrifies me. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before all the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get the full bonus show every single Saturday, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley. Link in the description.